Hey, Jesse.
Hey, Jonathan, how you doing?
No complaints.
Right on.
I had a question for you, which has really been it's been very like confusing for me to deal with.
Yes.
And it's been that like I can see that free will is like probably an illusion. Like
right.
I don't think that you or yourself or anyone else really has any control over what it is that they do.
Right. No human being in control of anything.
Yeah. And even though I've realized this, there's certain people who, like, I can see, for example, if they do or have done something that I perceive as negative, that, like, I can see that they have no will behind it, but I still get like an emotional charge. Have you gone and forgiven your parents? How do I know that I should do it now? Like what I don't want is to go say, "Hey guys, I forgive you for being hateful and stuff," but then a week later I start getting mad at them. That's what I don't want to occur. But don't worry about all that. You don't know what's going to happen after you do. Once you see you need to forgive them, go and forgive. Take no thought about tomorrow. The next moment would take care of itself. Jonathan is out of New York. Jonathan, welcome to the show. Hey, Jesse.
Hey, Jonathan, how you doing?
All is well. How about yourself?
All is well. Thanks for asking.
On Thursday, I had called, and I had told you about some issues I was having with anger and with being able to see that free will was an illusion, but still experiencing emotion.
Yes.
Yeah, and you advised me to go forgive my mother and father, and I did the same day. And I went to them and I spoke with them. I told them that they were very hateful, and that I judged them because of that, and that I hated them, and that I forgive them, and I was wrong for having judged and hated them. And I just want to mention to any of your listeners and stuff, to anybody who thought it was who was certain that they would never forgive their parents, I really urge them to call in and speak with you about it sometime. My thoughts had deceived me to the degree that I was certain I would never forgive them.
Yeah.
I used to imagine that that one day I would think about them when they passed away, and that I was going to be I should have forgiven them. Jesse, I was my mind had me 100% certain.
That's
that
right.
I would never forget.
And I understand that you call it your mind, but you are not your mind. Your mind is not you. Those thoughts are from Satan, and he is deceiving. He deceived you at one point to make you think that you would never forgive them, because he didn't want you to, because he want your soul. He didn't want you to be free of him.
It really, I don't know, can I tell you about it?
Yes.
First I spoke with my mother, and I told her, she was very hateful, and that that I forgive her, and her response was I never did nothing to you and stuff. She white. She required she still needs patience. Her response was pretty egotistical and stuff, but nonetheless I didn't feel anything.
Right on.
I didn't feel anything, and I could see that I can see clearly how she's not even aware. She does believe in herself as having a mind and stuff, and she really can't help it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then when I just want to mention very quickly one more thing. Before, when I was going up to talk to her, it was like my throat was stuck. like no sound would come. It was really interesting.
How old are you, Jonathan?
26.
Amazing.
Yeah, but it was really interesting, and it was like totally stuck. And then as soon as I started speaking, like I was just like free.
Yes.
And I went to my father a few hours later, and when I went to speak to him, the thoughts that were coming into my head were like relentless. And I mean literally up until the point that I was standing right in front of him, I was like for like 30 seconds, I just had this storm of thoughts, like one after the other.
Yes.
And as soon as I started speaking, it was the same thing. It just cleared right through.
Yes. Amazing.
And I told him that I was afraid of him, from being young and stuff, and I felt like I could never go to him, and I could never speak with him if I ever needed advice or guidance or stuff, and that I told him that all of those like feelings, they went from fear to anger and to judgment, and that I shouldn't have judged him. I should have forgiven him. So
yeah.
I was forgiving him now, and that I was sorry for hating him. And he also like required patience to speak to, in terms of like he at some points was getting angry and accusatory, and I just told him that it is what it is, and that I forgive him for all of that, and that I shouldn't have hated him. And as we were talking, he started from what I could perceive, he was starting to become a little egotistical. And I never thought, I never had a thought that told me to ask this. It just came out. I said, do you love me? And I never knew that I did. I never knew that I didn't know that. And he told me he always did, and he always has. And even if I hated him, and even if he never saw me, he always would. And I didn't know that I didn't know that.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah, it really is. And I don't know how to explain. I feel like, and I'm not kidding about this, I feel like I got taller.
Amazing.
And so again, with language, it's hard to say because it's not like a feeling. It's like I got feelings pulled out of me.
Yes.
I don't know how to it's very hard to put that in words, but I felt like I've heard you talk about having peace in yourself.
Yes.
And I don't know if because the word that came up to me was something like natural joy. It feels like there was I don't want to sound corny or anything, but and I don't mean this in an emotional way, but it's you have a sun in your chest,
amazing.
The sun, the star.
Yes.
And stuff, and it feels like I remember that's there. And
that's what it means to be born again. You're absolutely right, man. It's amazing.
Can I leave you with one more thing just to hear your thoughts on it?
Real fast.
Okay, so do you know how if you so this is how I think people can view life when they're in the fallen state. Imagine if you were looking at a river and you became attached to certain drops in the water. And it would never occur to you to do that because it would be insane. And I think life, the way it just happens and it goes by, it's very fluid. And when people become attached to moments, or they become attached to actions or thoughts or words or people, it's just as insane as if you were watching a river and you try to pick out a few drops and become attached to them.
Amazing, man.
I wanted to, I wanted to hear your thoughts on that.
That is mind blowing. That's well said. A perfect example, and it's just amazing, Jonathan.
Well, and this is why, I really urge any of your callers, if you feel like it is impossible to forgive, or you feel like I did, that you understood it, but you couldn't do it, please call in and speak with, just have the conversation with Jesse. Because, like, my mind had deceived, my thoughts had deceived me to the point where I really completely thought it was impossible. Like,
wow.
That's what I felt.
Wow. Amazing. That is an amazing testimony, man. It really is. You know, Tim asked me from Ohio, what's a miracle? That's a miracle. That is mind-blowing. Well, man, I really wish you well. That is an amazing story. So
thanks.
Just relax.
I wish you well, too, of course.
Yeah, just relax. And Satan's going to try to rob you of that. He's going to try to get you to come back to those imagination things, to thoughts. Don't, and if you find yourself lost in one because you're now growing, just relax. Don't freak out. Don't let him tell you, oh, you're failing, it's not working, any of that stuff. Because every thought, everyone, is a lie. And Satan has made a promise that he's going to rob, steal, destroy, and kill. And he does it by getting you to believe a lie. Because he pretend to be the truth. Then you fall for that, he'll be the lie. He'll bring you down. You are blessed, man. That is an amazing, amazing, amazing testimony. Thank you for that.
No, thank you, too. I really appreciate it.
And now you're going to be able to love them with the right love, not slave love, but free love. You're going to love your parents.
It's so interesting. And, like, even when you say, like, when you've used the term, like, reborn or born again.
Yes.
I haven't been getting into my thoughts or anything. Like, I haven't been thinking about, like, I know it was only Thursday, but I really haven't even been thinking about, like, the past and stuff. But
that's right.
It literally feels like there, like, whatever. It's literally like everything, like, melted away. I don't even know how to say it. It's
amazing. Really, man.
Everything just went, like, turned to, like, dust or space.
That's
like,
right.
Just turned to space. Yeah.
That's right. Amazing, Jonathan. Man, God bless you. And eventually, you're going to see that there is no time, and there is no worries. There is no nothing. It's just all the stuff you've been living has been an illusion created by Satan in the imagination. That everything has just been an illusion. Jonathan, God bless you, man.
God bless you, too.
I really appreciate this call. I got to take a break, but thank you for this.
Thank you, too. Absolutely.
You're welcome, buddy. Amazing, folks. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Go and forgive. Before you enter into the kingdom of heaven, you must forgive. It's just that simple.